Hey, this is Xyroah. I'm going to be feedbacking your run. I was told to do the last run on stream, so that's what I'm going to be doing. If you have any questions, feel free to ping me in a thread. Let's begin. First of all, immediately for ranked, you should be in third person, full FOV, and once you get a spike, you should be in first person. Reason being is that you can gain more info about the seed. It's a random seed. Your most important job is to gain more info about what's going on. But we're in first person, we see a spike and we immediately raise render. You should be in F5, you should be in full FOV, we're not in full FOV. You're nerfing yourself by limiting your field of vision. At least this looks like not full FOV. I'm actually not sure if we are. I just missed it, I'm sorry. Also, I'm gonna mention that this is just, you're not gaining any information here. You're getting no information. I mean, I guess you see it on the second rotation when you go this way, but honestly, rotate slower. Trust me, it's gonna be more helpful when you do that. Yeah, this is 90 FOV. Just don't limit your field of vision. You're just nerfing yourself. The point of playing a random seed is that you need to gain as much info as you can about the seed. At any point, you want to keep looking at the ocean. You want to check for potential enters. Again, and this, if you want to throw out nuggets, which is completely fine, I understand that, do it while you're boating back or while you're swimming back to the island. The less things that you have to actively think about, the better. Here you're thinking about getting the food chest and you're also throwing your nuggets out. Don't do it, because now we spent 10 seconds already just extra. Could have just gotten the chest first. Fast looting. I advise against getting leather tunic because it's annoying when you have gold armor. You can't just offhand right click it. It's not like a huge thing, but it's like something, because that leather tunic usually isn't gonna come in handy anyways. But I see we're not in F5. When you're punching wood, try and be in F5, look around. Like, we have no information about the sea right now. I know that there's a ravine right under the ship. I didn't actually see any bubbles, so I'm not sure if that's a viable enter, but be in F5, keep looking around. Crafting is alright, but I'd suggest if you're using English, try and use search crafting instead. It's ER for bread, and you can just keep using search crafting for everything. Again, you don't have to think about it once you get used to it, which is good because it's going to be in the same spot in the book. Getting stone axe, it's all good. You can press X to get your axe. Again, you're not in F5, you're not in full FOV. What are we doing? This is just bad. If you want inspiration in terms of people who are really good at this, I'd suggest watching someone like Loki's really good, obviously. Tuchel's another good example. Realistically, every top runner is in F5 most of the time, just looking around. Extremely important. How much wood did we grab? Considering this is our only block type, I would have gotten maybe a bit more, maybe 2 more logs, but this is okay. Water bucket. Don't understand. Here you wanna. So first of all, how do we? Right. So extremely minor thing, but I guess you can just implement it. It's not that hard. Is you wanna get out of your boat and break it like slightly before this point, because you can swim diagonally, which is faster than swimming downwards. And second thing, yeah, because like we're just swimming downwards, which is slow. Another thing here is that you want to place your door a bit further away from the ravine, looking into the ravine. Reason being is that you get to break the gravel in the direction of the ravine. So when you break the gravel you're standing on, you can break it and just swim into the ravine itself. Minor niche time saves, but they come in handy. Because now you're going back and then you get these gravel and then you go in that direction. I respect the play for not grinding for a flint itself. Something I like to do out of principle is just grabbing 4 gravel and then grinding it in portal every time. For ranked, it's sort of metagaming because you're gonna get the lava achievement first most of the time. It's not like an actual advice, but it's something that you can implement pretty easily. I wouldn't have gone for this. I would have gone for this. This looks like it's probably 1 deep. Yeah, so yeah. And another thing is, why are we going for L shape? You should just force yourself, or force 2x1. Highly suggest practicing it and getting better at it. Because it's a more consistent portal. You don't have to deal with ghost buckets. You don't have to deal with this, whatever we're doing here. Yeah. I think we don't have. I think this block is cobble or stone. No. Oh, again, I think you're just lacking a bit of awareness. What are we doing? Right. It's interesting. It's okay, we have F3 open. Oh, your 10 window is really wide. I'd suggest making it thinner. Usually it's... Okay, so you're not on 1080p, right? 360 by 872. I don't actually know the what the width would be, but usually runners use 300 by 1080 for 1920 by 1080p displays, so you can use ratios to figure out what you should be using. In either case, this is like really wide, and the reason that an extremely wide window is bad is because the point of wide is to limit the FOV with a single click, right? It's essentially doing what 30 FOV does to you, but you don't have to go in the menu every time you want to do it. So by having a wider window, your numbers are gonna be worse. So yeah, I'd suggest making your thin window thinner. But I like the play of having F3 open immediately. I like to have my pie open as well. More of an R3 thing, but it's also useful in rank because you can immediately check for fort and render, or even a treasure view bombing. That's really jarring. But okay, what are we doing? Right, again, we're not in F5. This is like extremely bad from where I see, because we have just no info about the terrain. 90 FOV plus just this is all I know about the terrain. We haven't seen backwards, we haven't checked in all directions. What are we doing? And then instead here, every runner here would be in F5 looking for a better way to get past this direction. The bitrate's really bad, so I apologize if I missed something obvious, but I'd be in F5 looking for a better point to get from here to here, and also looking for ways I can get higher terrain. I mean, this is pretty high already, but I'm assuming we're gonna have to force lower terrain. It's clean overall, but they don't do this. Just, I mean, unless you're like drag clicking, don't try and boat clutch. Just bridge out and then just boat down. It's not worth it, especially in ranked. Again, we're not in F5. This is what I'm seeing. It's just a wall. What are we making out of this? Please be in F5. Please look around more. Right, we're just gifted god terrain. That's cool. Like, I understand that this terrain is just like amazing, but usually your spawn to bastion split's gonna be extremely bad if you're just not in F5 at all points, just looking around. And we're going in F5 randomly. There's no point in doing F5 over there. Anyways, I like that we got some netherrack. Here I'd probably build up with a combination of wood, planks, and magma blocks, and then use the netherrack for my entire route. I think that's what we're doing here. I respect going safe, that's completely fine. I don't like offhanding blocks. I don't like doing this either. You don't need to eat. All you're doing here is, well, okay, so let's go through this. Right, you have one big aggro line of sight. Now we're wasting time, we're doing nothing. This is fine, you know, it's okay to be a bit slow, it's fine. There's just no reason to offhand blocks. You have an empty hotbar slot. I'd suggest offhanding food more important than treasure, especially because you can get miscellaneous hits from a pig here, you can get miscellaneous pigs from the other side over there top, you can get hits from when you're mining into the second rampart. Yeah, maybe he does a thing where he offhands blocks, but he offhands blocks only after the pigs are in the funnel, which is fine because you're not going to be tanking damage at that point. So yeah, food for thought, but don't do this. Okay, so let's go through what we're doing here. You break that block, that's fine. Block it off, yep. You don't throw two down, it's fine. Piglin admires, Piglin snores angrily. There's, what I usually like to do is throw three down with like intervals. So I'll throw three downs while going up the stairs itself. That creates a gap, which means it's like a wider window for the pigs to see the goal, which means there's less chances of them hitting you. I mean, do we have audio? We do. Yeah. There's no reason to throw this one. In fact, a trick that you can use is just throw them at your feet. What that does is that you always have pick up priority as the player, but the piglin will be distracted, and as you know from speedrunning, if you throw something out, it takes slightly longer to pick up compared to an item that was already down and you pick that up, right? Throw stuff at your feet. Don't look back every time you have to throw. It doesn't change anything. You're still throwing it at your feet and you're probably still gonna pick it up going back. But yeah, it's like really interesting. Don't do this. You can just throw it at your feet, yeah. And throwing it at your feet is also a plus because the pigs in the other rampart, um, if it's open especially, they'll be distracted already, which means they can't hit you. In the case of close spawner, um, I like to break the top two blocks and then the bottom two blocks because there's a bigger chance that those pigs will see the goal and get distracted. It doesn't work every time, but you might as well do something that works, that saves you some health. Overall, not bad. We didn't tank too much damage, which is perfectly fine. Okay, here is another thing, right? So let's see how many gold blocks we got. So we have 1, 2, 3. 3 is gonna be just enough. It's fine probably. What I like to do is when you don't have too many gold blocks on this rampart, I like to get the leftmost bottom gold block too. Reason being is that you want to maximize the time your piglins are when they're in the hole. You want to maximize the time they're trading. If you're gonna throw 3 gold blocks, it's gonna be just enough time, assuming you're getting the second rampart quickly, where they're gonna be trading most of the time. But yeah, uh, me personally, if these 2 gold blocks weren't there, I would have just gone for the leftmost gold block on that too. And then the other thing you can do, because you do want to preserve aggro when you come back on this rampart, is you can place 1 gold block down, craft all the gold into ingots, throw them into the hole, break that gold block, and then craft that and throw that into the hole. You're gonna get the same aggro, except your pigs are more likely gonna be trading all the time. So this is the second rampart, no gold blocks. We're mining a lot of blocks. I'd recommend checking preference the way he mines these gold blocks, because you're mining 2 gold blocks extra every time you're going for a corner block. Yeah, yeah. You can just mine this one, it's fine. Using offhand blocks for this is fine. I still think it's like you don't really need this, but it's fine to use. But yeah, don't use it during the early part of the routing. Again here, it looks really buried, but if it's open, you want to be in F5 looking around for a fort. I'm assuming we're gonna go down and get the spawner, because there's just no information about the seed, about the nether. We didn't throw the gold, right? Why did we break that block? No, please don't do this. You're mining infinitely more blocks. You're gonna go down anyways to get the chest. Just do it then. Don't go down from here. It's okay. Don't do this. Sorry, I'm getting a bit triggered, but just don't do this, because you're those that 1 gold block traded is better than going down here, checking all the chests, checking the other ramparts chest, getting that gold block, then going back up. You want to maximize the time your pigs are trading. Again, highly recommend doing fast looting. And again, this is why I don't offhand blocks. Oh, that's right. Don't do this. You may have heard hacking noises. Stop doing this as well. And the reason is that treasure generation is weird. Sometimes there can be an air block here, which means your gold just gets stuck here. And if that does happen, there's no easy way to get it out. So you shouldn't be doing this. I see the vision in going down this way and then getting it, but just copy some modern top runners way of doing treasure. Don't do this. Again, you're not fast looting. Highly recommend just getting used to it. Every minor time save counts, because you're trying to go faster. Always place a block on top of the pigs. This is for universal for every bastion. Reason being is that once they're done trading, they will hit you from the corner, but they won't hit you from the corner if you have a block placed on the top. You're just out here, yeah. But did we see the fort? Now we're going back up to check for the fort again. Wait, what? Okay, maybe it's a bit rate. I definitely didn't see a fort. Maybe there was a fort up at spawn, because we're going back towards home portal, I think. Oh, it's behind. I don't know if we just got lucky. I didn't see the fort at any point. Do let me know. But really interesting. Again, I guess more thing that I can say is that do your pre-crafts while the pigs are trading. Usually what me and most top runners would do is, for every bastion, you check your initial trades, and when you check your initial trade, you're hoping to have pearls and a string trade. And why that's important is that once you have a pearl trade, you can hit a pearl hang, come back, check your chest, get more string, do your bed craft. If you have iron, even better, you can do your axe craft. just get it like as a principle, make it a habit to pre-craft at the bastion, preferably while the pigs are trading. But in my opinion, even if you're slow for whatever reason and the pigs are done trading, it's still better to do it in the bastion as a habit rather than here, because this opens up more possibilities for just forgetting to do the pre-craft itself, and more possibilities of basically what I'm trying to get at is that you want to linearize your routing. You want to linearize everything in your head that goes through when you're going from bastion to fort. Instead of like having variables or realizing that you sent one pearl but you haven't pre-crafted, so now you're pre-crafting. I hope that makes sense. I can elaborate if you need me to. This string trade, we're doing it sequentially. You wanna try and overlap it with a pearl. So you throw a pearl, then you do your 2x2 crafts. Um, Again, search crafting is extremely overpowered for this. I'd suggest if you're doing English, you can do WO to get your wall up, and then OW for bed and AW for respawn anchors, which is what Dougal does. If you want tips on English search crafting, I highly suggest watching Dougal. We are doing some search crafting, right? You shouldn't be doing RO for X. You should be doing AX, or X is actually good enough. Does the same thing. But yeah, we're doing some search crafts, so I'm assuming that we know them, but we're just not using them. Highly suggest forcing them more often. Don't hate this play. Um, I would have just clutched on one gravel, but you know what? It's fine. We're on bread, slow food. Why are we getting this iron? You have 19 ingots. What are you gonna use it for? I'm assuming ground zero, but it's just a waste of inventory space. Getting 19 ingots, and you're getting more every time. Nice. I like to, when I enter the bad part of the fort, turn my render down to 9. Good part 7 when you're entering, and then try and dynamic your way through. Um, it's not like bad not to, or like just to prioritize spawner instead of strays. This is like crimson, so you won't get many strays either way. But again, it's about linearizing the way you play. Lowering render down as you enter the fort opens up more opportunities to get strays. Um, and you can always just avoid strays altogether if you low roll or you got a bunch of wither skeletons. Right. Punching on the fire, that's good. We still have one piece of fire. We didn't punch that out, right? Um, so you want to build 2 out on the back, 1 on either side, and more importantly, or not more importantly, I guess it's just another tip that I can give, is that you can do the thing that Loki does, where he bridges out with 2 nether bricks and then puts soul sand on both sides. You can do this when you don't have soul speed. I prefer to do it all the time since it's more consistent. Means that when you practice doing it in practice map and you replicate it in an actual run or ranked run, you know exactly the speed and exactly the behavior that goes on with it. Essentially, you're more used to what you're doing, which is always good. We're going 3 out. This isn't required. Blazes don't spawn on this 3rd layer. You can bridge 3 out at the beginning to bridge 2 out. That's fine, makes it easier. But yeah, this 3rd doesn't achieve anything. And another thing that I can say is it's more important to get rid of. So your priority when you come to a spawner, which is so immediately when you come to a spawner, you want to get rid of the first blazes. Then you want to send your blaze bed off, punch out the fire, then get rid of all the blocks, the miscellaneous blocks in the spawning radius, because they are inhibiting spawns. Then you want to go out and build your spawner out. Our food management's alright. We didn't craft golden carrots. We traded all our gold. And I don't think that's a good idea because we have more obsidian. We have a lot of strength, so there's clearly opening for crafting 7 golden carrots. But it's fine. You should be eating here. We're not eating though. Eat 2.5 bread. We just don't eat. I can also comment on the so um you should throw out your flint and steel immediately when you're trading and put your fire charges up top. Reason being is that you're gonna keep collecting fire charges. Functionally serves the same purpose. Another thing that I guess I didn't mention was our inventory sorting while we were trading in the bastion. It was mostly fine, didn't think much about it. Um, Again, I'm a bit perplexed as to why we have 19 pieces of iron here. This inventory is actually pretty good. Stew gets 3 food hunger bars. Third highest saturation of normal foods behind pork chops and golden carrots. So it's a good food to hold on to. Um, yeah, this is pretty good. You have a boat for a bow tie, or I guess you have like a window border. So I'm assuming we're not doing bow tie. Um, yeah, this seems alright. I'm like perplexed at the priority of what we're doing. Another thing is you want to try and throw out stuff when you're crafting your beds. We did do that a little bit, but if you see that you have a bunch of wool, you can like preemptively realize that you're probably not gonna have enough inventory space, so you want to just force clear out some stuff. You can pick it back up later, but the good thing about that is that all of the beds just go in your inventory, which hold higher priority than anything else in my opinion, apart from like the obvious stuff. So yeah, just another tip. Went up on gravel, that's good. We're doing boat eye. Oh, ISO mod, right. Build up to, interesting. Our, it's really, our eye is extremely displaced. Um, I mean, it's fine, I guess, if you don't have like a DPI switch to control and you're just having like infinite offsets on your overlay. Um, I'd suggest tracing the eye as it goes up. So what tracing the eye means is that this eye is going up, you trace with your crosshair the way it goes up. You can situate your crosshair preemptively at the height that the eye is going to hover, which gives you more time to adjust. Um, Again, I don't know if you don't have like a DPI switch or whatever. Actually, Slack Wall now has like built-in sense change. I don't know too much about it, but I assume that that's more helpful than whatever we're doing. So yeah, this is just we're just aiming at the center of the eye. It's really funny. Yeah. Also spending a lot of time. Oh, right. Interesting. I I can't really comment on what's happening because I don't see much. Um, I'm assuming we realized that we're. I don't know what's happening, honestly. Right. I can't comment on the quality of that pearl because we forgot to turn the overlay off or whatever. Um, right. Interesting. I I don't really know what to make of this. Right, we're on card seemingly. I think surely no. Right. I can't really comment on your preemptive at all. Um, it's really unfortunate because it's really important, but okay. We're not rescanning at all. Right. Really brave, but you should be just rescanning as you're going through the stronghold. Oh, did we just... Right. Okay. You can do a trick where you pearl at the bottom of the iron door and it teleports you on the other side. Minor thing. The reason I say that is because you're close to full health but not quite. You have two breaths. In this situation, I'll just be tanking health all the way till I was like at 2.5. I wouldn't be at 2.5 itself unless I hadn't seen the portal room. But you want to be tanking health so that you can immediately death reset and enter the end. Sorry, my voice is a bit hoarse. We're just not rescanning, right? When you realize that the direction that you were aiming at isn't good, keep rescanning. Rescanning is extremely important for preemptive, along with knowing your spikes. Because I didn't see the preemptive, obviously, but we're just sending like a complete different direction at this point. I mean, I assume the goal is to go this way. I just don't know, and we're not rescanning, so I can't confirm. Okay, so we're just going a complete different direction. I don't know if you're just not trusting our spike, what's going on, but you have enough bread. I don't think you need to get more bread for your end split. Um, okay, there's just no rescanning, and this is really perplexing. If we had timed our reads properly, we could have had one eat while getting to the portal room, and then you can eat animation skip to get the rest of it. Doesn't really matter because you have full health, but the saturation is always good, especially when you're going for zero. Speaking of zero, we're not doing setup plus. Highly advised to practice setup plus zero, or by setup plus I mean just not having your hotbar set. You didn't jump. You could have jump, right click, assuming your breath in your offhand, and as you're going through the portal, if you're if you're doing the eating animation, then it skips the eating animation completely, so you're not gonna waste time eating it during your pearls or whatever. This looks like tall caged or short cage. Pretty easy zero. We can offset? No, okay. Just different side. Obby. I guess I can comment on the quality of this pearl itself. Again, being on 90 FOV makes this so much harder because your pearl's just like massively offset because you're not in full FOV. Which I understand you're used to it because that's the FOV that you practice, but this pearl is just in the middle of nowhere. This is purely speaking of full FOV, which is what you should be doing. Your first pearl should be lean into the end island because the higher that you chuck your pearl, the more time it's going to take for the pearl to land. Your first pearl is just getting to the main island itself. So this pearl should be lean. If it's front tower, obviously you're gonna have to chuck a wider pearl because you're further away from the tower because of the lean pearl. If it's back, you want to chuck like not a lean pearl, but it's a wide pearl leaning into lean pearl, if that makes sense. Highly suggest watching someone like 7 Roll do zeros. His pearls are immaculate. Again, should be doing all of this in the full FOV, which is what most top runners do. This pearl is completely fine, but we definitely wasted some time on our first pearl. And again, I'm gonna keep banging on about this point because it's extremely important. But you do this pearl. Look where we're aiming. We're aiming above the cage and we land like over here. Whenever you're doing low FOV zeros, you're having to offset where your crosshair goes, because this isn't full FOV. So if you like, if for example I'm standing here, I'm chucking a pearl, looking here, it's gonna go like somewhere here, and that's a problem because that means that you're chucking your pearl based off of feel rather than what you're seeing. Um, I hope that makes sense. I'm happy to elaborate further if you need me to, but highly suggest getting used to full FOV. Sending 95, pretty ballsy, considering our first port wasn't that great. Late bed, or slightly late. I would have. Let me go back. So, this is our first bed. On time. The dragon height seems a bit wide. I mean, it's like a bit higher up, so I think early bed here would have been fine, just slightly, so that on third rotation you get some awesome damage. But this is fine, I guess. Again, you're doing bow 0 on 90 FOV. This is like infinitely easier on full FOV. But I understand. Didn't need to do it on that rotation. I think it would have just gotten it, but whatever, that's fine. Good run. I think I'm gonna drive home the same point that I've been saying, which is full FOV, looking more in F5, which means being more aware of your seed. When you're playing a random seed, the most macro thing about playing RS3 is getting to know more about the seed. When you're on island, when you're on nether spawn, when you're in the bastion, you wanna maximize the amount of time you're looking out of stuff. Obviously, that doesn't come at the cost of sacrificing what you're doing in the moment, but it's something you get a feel for doing subconsciously. And we're just completely missing out on it. I think here we really benefited from having extremely open terrain. The fort, again, I just never saw it. Feel free to let me know if you did see it before, but I thought that was just like sending it blindly. Um, Yeah, I just didn't look around at any point. We're F5ing, or sorry, going into third person at the wrong time, just for no reason, and not doing it at the right time. Food management was alright. You should try and time your eat so that it's like perfectly, you're eating it at perfect. So for bread, 2.5. For pork chops, it's 4. Golden carrots, it's 3.5 or 3 actually. Um, Bottom line is that you want to eat your food every time at 2.5. I'm happy to elaborate if you want more info about food management, that is, but it's more efficient to eat it at 2.5 hunger most of the time. Not when you're like pearling to your fort or like sending massive pearls, because then you want to just keep chucking pearls, so you want to keep eating. So you can throw that out the window during that split. Our treasure route, not that great. I mean, we're offhanding blocks at the wrong time, in my opinion. Oh, sorry. Not that great. Um, I'd suggest practicing more and paying attention to how piglin aggro works. Piglin aggro works in two ways. There's line of sight aggro, or first level aggro, and then second level aggro, which is when you punch a pig. Line of sight aggro, the aggro goes away after 30 seconds of you not being in line of sight. That's why it's called line of sight aggro. In treasure especially, you wanna do the bottom ledge stuff fast and then move towards up, or move upwards, so that the bottom pigs are still aggroed. Um, you'll see some top runners even punch a pig at bottom ledge. I'm not saying that you need to do it, but driving home the point that aggro is extremely important, because you want those bottom picks to come up, because treasure, the second rampart, naturally has little picks. We're doing safe boomer, which is fine. I think just need to fine tune it a bit, so we're not just doing random stuff. Thin window is really wide. Another thing important. Just being an F5 and overworld was extremely important. We just didn't see anything. My bitrate's really low, so I apologize if I'm like missing out something that we've seen. But yeah, I think even just like generally, we're just not looking around. Forcing L shape for some reason. If you want to be faster, you just want to do the more consistent, faster, and better portal. So highly suggest just getting used to forcing 2x1. And terrain management was alright, but we are just running into a wall because 90 FOV, no third person. I'd love to comment on our. So, Forge was like, okay, we did our spawner. Slight mishaps, I think. Our second wave, we got 2 places. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it might have been 2 or 3, where we could have gotten more, but we didn't clear the blocks out of the spawning radius. So, it's a big oops, but it's okay. Building 3 out on the back, not required. Build 2 out. And also just overlapping your 2x2 crafts while you're purling, instead of purling, getting at a safe spot, crafting, then purling. As well as overlapping your explosive crafts while waiting for the blazes, which requires you to throw items out preemptively. Post blind split measuring took a while. I'd suggest getting better or practicing bow tie more with MPK and stuff. You shouldn't be spending that much time. That being said, this is the max, so I'm a bit unaware. After that, I have no clue what happened between the fort and blind, or sorry, where our blind portal was, second portal. Preemptive, just big oops, just didn't rescan at all. I have nothing to say because I didn't see any spikes. Took a bunch of bread for no reason. It's whatever. I think that's everything. If you have any questions, feel free to ping me in your thread. Thank you.